listening audience.
Hello, everybody. It's your girl, C. Witt, and one of my favorite clients, friends, spin buddies. Let me move this down just a little bit, Delta. It's time. It is Financial Literacy Month.
Yes, it is.
And it's almost over.
It's almost over.
And so we got to chat. Give us your disclaimer for Atled Financial and Woodbury Financial.
First of all, listening audience, I would like for you to know that securities and advisory services offered through Woodbury Financial Services, Inc., member of FINRA, as well as Civic Insurance Companies, offered through Atled Financial Group at 717B Main Street, Schererville, Indiana, 46375, which is not affiliated with Woodbury Financial.
All right, we got that out the way, man. I say you are looking so beautiful today. Look at you.
You as well.
Thank you. I'm feeling real financial today, so I put on my financial black, because I knew I was coming to class today with Delta Jones Walker. For those of you who have not seen any of our lives, Delta Jones Walker is a financial advisor who has made an impact on my life, on this community, helping our community learn more about how to jump into finances at an earlier age, earlier in our career, and maybe even, as I said on the live earlier today, focus on early retirement. Those are my buzzwords. Early retirement. Yes. Okay. So you wrote an article, as you always do, for the Chicago and Gary Crusaders, and it focused on financial literacy for this month of April. But for us, we know that financial literacy is something that should be ongoing, right?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Okay. So give us some of the tips that you shared in that article. Ask me some questions. I mean, let's jump right in on this finance.
So first of all, this is Financial Literacy Financial Literacy Month. But what I want to make sure that everyone is on tap with, this is not something that we do for 1 month. This is a regimen that we need to incorporate for the next 12 months. We need to have it done every month, not just 1 month. Okay. And these are 5 key components that I really want our listening audience to incorporate in their financial literacy practice.
Okay, 5. Get out your ink pens, iPads, whatever. 5 points Delta wants us to know. Okay, what's number 1?
So number 1 is earn. Okay.
Earn. Okay.
So as you're earning your paycheck, know it. Know the difference between your gross and your net. Look at how much is coming out for retirement, how much is coming out for medical insurance, how much is coming out for your life insurance, your disability income, your union dues.
All those different deductions.
Those different deductions. So at the end, you're not spending money on your gross. You're spending money on your net.
Your net, what's really coming in. And I know that we had that extension for taxes to May 17th. And, people think, yay, I'm getting a return. But in all actuality, if we are really knowing what we earn, it should balance out at the end.
It should balance out.
And you should be able to get that money on the front end instead of getting a return if you're doing it right with the deductions and stuff. Am I right?
You're right. And also, we want to look at it from the standpoint, you are giving Uncle Sam an interest-free loan. So if you just have a 0, you don't owe, he doesn't owe you, it's a happy, merry relationship.
Right.
So that's what we want to abreast and get ourselves accustomed to, opposed to saying, oh yeah, I got a return back. We want to get to the point that, no, I didn't get a return, but I did not owe. So that meant that you utilized your money throughout the course of the year, and as a result of that, you were able to take those dollars and invest them, and they made more money for you.
Made more money for, girl, thank you.
Yeah.
Miss Delta Jones Walker of Atled Financial. No, I get, you finally have me in a place where I'm excited to talk about money, because as we know, that's that taboo topic at the table. It's like, it's why couples fight, why they break up.
Yes.
Families fight and argue. You've given me some stories.
Right.
And it all boils down to money and why we didn't talk about it and why we didn't understand what was being spent, what was coming in, what's being bequeathed, what belongs to you rightfully, all those things. And that's why I love to come chat with you, Del.
And Chelsea, we're going to go from knowing your paycheck, the earn, to now we can spend because we know we have minused out all of our deductions, and now we know what we can do to spend.
Okay, so number one was earn, number two spend. My favorite word.
Mm-hmm. But in the spending,
okay,
the first thing we want to do is we want to create a budget and stick to it.
That's right.
So pay your outstanding obligations. So if you consider yourself an outstanding obligation and you're like, I'm gonna do my bills on Saturday, but I'm gonna go kick it on Friday night, what is the obligation that you give yourself? And if your obligation is $55.55, then you know you can get one dinner and one drink and pay a tip and you're done.
That's it.
That's it.
I call it play money. I'm like, okay, I've done all of this and here's the excess and this is the play money, and when it's gone, it's gone.
It's gone.
Okay.
It's gone. Okay. So work towards your budget.
All right.
Okay.
Everybody hear that?
Create
Number two,
your budget.
When you spend, stick to that budget.
And there can be some corrections. I want people to know that. You can erase, you can scratch out, you can in turn write another number, but be diligent to your budget. Yeah. And then from your budget, now we're going to talk about saving and investing.
Number three, saving and investing. Two of my favorite things to do. We've got to save, and you have since gotten me into the whole investment game. And I love the fact that people love to call us when we are online, but I'm going to just push us to make sure that our video is still going. Saving and investing is something that we all need to get. That's another taboo subject, Del.
Yeah.
Investing is something that we say, oh, rich people do that, or I'll learn about that when I get older.
No.
But now is the time.
First, before we even talk about investing, you want to make sure that you have savings. And I recommend the first savings that you need to start. I'm not going to say that you're going to be able to have it complete in one setting, and that is saving for emergencies. Emergency savings. Emergency savings is nothing more than 3 to 6 months of dollars needed to take care of expenses that you will still have if you were not able to work because of a sickness, injury, or a shut off and the employer is not paying you income dollars. So the first thing we need to work on is our emergency reserve.
Emergency reserves. And as my father would say, or still says, hey daddy, rainy days are coming. And he's 90. You know, and he still says, you know, you gotta save for a rainy day.
You gotta save for a rainy day. So I start this conversation off with the savings tab. However, in the savings tab, we also need to save for retirement because that day is coming.
Early.
And so if you are under the age of 40, I would recommend that you're saving 10% of your income dollars for retirement.
So you're tithing for self, huh?
You're tithing for self.
Okay.
If you are over the age of 45, we're starting to push it. I would tell you that you need to make sure that you're saving 15%, but once you hit that 50 lever, you need to be saving 20% if you have not done anything and you're starting.
Playing catch up.
You're playing catch up. You're saving 20 to 25% for retirement. Now you might say, well, I really don't think I need that much. Okay, well then, simple math.
Do the math, Del.
Equation. Whatever it takes you to support yourself on a monthly, you multiply that times 12, and then times 20 years. When you see that number, you're saying, how am I going to make this work?
And inflation from there.
And I have not, I'm just doing simple math. I haven't talked about inflation. So they're not spooked and say, oh my God, I can't do this. I want you to start there. But most and foremost, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Atled. We're here to help you in this process. Our office is located here at 717B, which is on Main Street in Schererville, Indiana. And our office number locally is 219-513-3710. Or you can call the toll-free number, which is the 1-800-631-4866 number. We're here to help you. You can email us at djwalker@atledfinancial.com, or you can go to our website, which is www.atledfinancial.com. But at the end of the day, we're here to help you in this process. So I don't want you to feel like this is overbearing and this is something that I can't accomplish.
You make it fun, Del. You really do.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, when you always tell me for the years that we've been working together that you are that type of financial advisor that, you ask the hard questions, but you sit on the same side of the table with us, not talking at us across the table like, now you should have been saving since you were 21. I know, but I'm not 21 anymore. Right. So what are we going to do right now?
Right.
If you're just tuning in, welcome. This is Delta Jones Walker of Atled Financial.
Hello.
My friend, but more important, my financial advisor. And I don't put anything out there that I don't believe in. I am a witness coming to you years ago in debt and in tears, and now being financially solvent, and even in the little market game, the little stock market game, I feel a little grown now.
See, you are grown. You're in the game. You're in the game.
Yes. So now we have, let's recap: earn, spend, save, invest. Okay.
So now we're going to talk about borrowing, because a lot of people feel, I don't know if I want to borrow. I mean, it's taboo. You're not supposed to borrow. And I would tell you, some borrowing is good borrowing.
Mm-hmm.
So what you want to do is you want to study the contract that you're borrowing. What are you borrowing? What's the interest rate? What are the terms? Is it simple? Is it compound? What it is. Now, if you're borrowing to buy a home, that's good debt. If you're borrowing to buy a car and the interest rate is pretty minimal, a nominal rate, that's good debt. If you are getting a credit card, well, that is helping you build your credit, but you don't want to exhaust the credit limit, and as a result, it doesn't help you, but it has an adverse reflection.
Right, and paying it late.
So you want to make sure that if you put things on your credit card, you want to pay them off. If you're not able to pay it off, you want to make sure that you have not exhausted more than 1/3 of the credit limit that they have offered you.
Yes.
So you just want to be mindful of all of those tools, because they can help you in the process to build and increase your credit score.
Now, I have a question. You were talking about borrowing, and someone approached me the other day asking, are you doing the PPP loans and things like that? And you and I talked about it a little bit. For those business owners who are watching, what do you feel about those loans if you are already in a position where you may or may not need it, or what do you see as the benefit?
If your practice was down 1/3 in the last year, it might be something that you want to sit with your CPA and ask them, do you think that I need to get the PPP loan because I had to exhaust my rainy day fund
to pay my employees,
and to pay my obligations, so I wouldn't have a adverse reflection in regards to a credit score.
Gotcha.
So again, it's a consultation that you need to sit with your CPA to see, go over the numbers.
That's good advice, because I was hesitant. I mean, and I'm to be honest, I didn't do it because I'm the type of person, if I don't need it, I'm not trying to draw attention to myself. The IRS, like, well, what you get that for? What you do that money with that money? And so I really kind of wanted to leave it in the pot for the people who need it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I don't know if you've heard this, but rumors have it that people apply and were able to get it who really did not need it.
Yes.
And so that kind of dampened or hurt the
individual
who needed it because they were not able to get it. So,
I'm glad you said that, right? Because to me, for me, the whole entrepreneurship piece is new. And so I'm constantly learning about things that I need to file, things that I need to keep record of.
Yes.
And again, I am not trying to be like, hey, come audit me, you know? And so I want to share this same information with my Facebook family and your followers, so that when we are going and doing the borrowing, as we're talking about, that we are being cognizant of what repercussions happen when you borrow and whether it makes sense or not.
Well, the main objective is, does it make sense? And if it makes sense, then that's when you need to take the next step.
Okay.
But if it doesn't make good business sense, I don't recommend it. Don't do it. No problem.
What else?
And so our last step that I want to share is protection.
Okay.
So I know we're all busy, so let me put that disclaimer out there.
I'm a little busy.
But you always want to go back and you want to check your statements. You want to check your bank statements. You want to make sure that there's no fraudulent activities, no suspicious charges on your credit card statements. You just want to check what is going on. And so many people, we get into the habit of, I'll do it later. You just pay the bill. And then for some ungodly known reason, you're looking for something that you want to send back, but you don't remember what credit card you had it on. Now you're going through your credit card statements and you say,
wait a minute.
What is this?
Exactly.
And so the credit card company say, well, that happened back in February. It's April. You paid the bill. You're just like,
why are you mad now?
And they're like, okay, well, we're going to transfer you over to the fraud department. So now you're going through this lengthy conversation. So I just tell people to just take the time. And, when you're sitting down doing your budget, you just go your monthly budget. You just review your statements to just make sure that everything is intact.
I'll add on to that. Most of the credit cards we now have an app attached to it, right? Some type of service that goes to your phone. So for every transaction, you know me, I'm all in now, Delta. Every transaction that's made either on my debit card, my credit cards, well, I only have one credit card, I get an alert.
Okay.
So a couple of weeks ago, there was an alert on there for $150 charge that I know I had not authorized. So I was able to call them right on the spot, like, this isn't me or this is not. It was one of those renewal things. You know how people try to renew something, a service that you haven't approved? And I said, no way, I don't want this service. And so they were like, Mrs. Whittington, it hasn't even posted yet. I was like, I don't care. I know. I need you to block that charge right away. And so getting those apps, subscribing to those apps to give you alerts on your account is an extra layer of protection on, fraud.
Yes. So listening audience, I thank you very much for listening to us this evening. Not this evening, but today.
Or whenever they watch it, because we'll be playing it back.
And again, if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to Atled Financial at 717B Main Street. Our telephone number locally is 219-513-3710. And follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Financial Literacy Month. And remember, financial literacy is every day.
Every day.
Thanks, Delta.
All right, then. Take care.
Bye,
See you
everybody.
next month, everyone.